Hey, it's Ordinary Magician, and today I'm going to be talking about the one-handed shuffle. This is a fantastic move, very tricky. It'll take a bit of practice, but it's definitely a good way to demonstrate one's card handling skills. So stay tuned to learn how it's done. Okay, so let's get into how this is done. First thing to make it a little bit easier is when you take your deck of cards, have a deck of cards that has smooth edges, because if there's cards that are a little bit bent, you're going to have a harder time weaving, which is one of the most difficult parts of this maneuver. The other thing, to make it a bit easier, is put a bend in it like that. Okay, so you can take your deck and just kind of put a slight bend, doesn't have to be a lot, and that too will also help with the weaving. One of the trickiest parts of this is going to be the weave, but you will be able to do it with some practice. Now again, this is one of those moves that a lot of people have said with small hands you can't do. Well, you know what, I don't exactly have big hands, and I'm able to do this. And again, for me, the hardest part was learning how to do the weave. The actual splitting of the cards I didn't find hard, but I can give a tip on how to do that part for someone with small hands. Okay, so first part is you're going to have it in a raised grip, same kind of grip as if you're going to do a Charlie A cut. Okay, so your deck is raised like this. Okay, and once you're at this point, you're going to take your index finger and you're going to reach over here and you're going to grab approximately half the deck and pull down. Okay, so again here, pull half the deck. Now once you've pulled half the deck, you're going to get that into that knuckle, right? And you're going to squeeze down and you're going to hold that with the knuckle. So right now, the bottom half is obviously between these fingers, my pinky is squaring it up, and my thumb. This half here, my fingers curled in, and there's my finger, or my thumb rather. So from this point, you want to separate the decks to get into the position of the shuffle. Now to do that, do it from this angle, you're going to slide it along your index finger. Okay, so it's going to slide along like that. Okay, so and you have it angled a bit because it's going to be cradled in your hand, in here, right? So you spread these cards aren't going to go anywhere because they're cradled, and this pack's not going to go anywhere because you're holding onto it with the other fingers. Okay, so you're going to slide it along that finger until it passes the deck, and it's going to be in between. Okay, and then you're in position to do the shuffle. Now this kind of position is where a lot of people do the one-handed shuffle. Now this is the part where if you have small hands, this is going to help, because this is what I do that seems to help, and it helps control the cards a bit better. Is I break off the half, slide it, but when I get to this position here, you see I take my middle finger and my middle finger's on top. See, I can put that deck any way I want, and I have that deck. So my middle finger's up here, ring finger, pinky finger holding that pack, and my pointer's in between, and then this pack is in between these two fingers. Now the reason I like it like this is because I have a lot of play, and that'll help with the weave, because again the weave is tricky. So what you're going to do is you can pull it apart, you're going to put the ends together on the bottom as if you're going to do a ferrule, right? And you'll see that the weave kind of starts, but what you have to do is you have to apply even pressure from both halves while almost like pivoting on the pointer finger. Okay, and then the cards will weave. Now obviously that's not a great weave because this is a hard thing to do slowly, but if you'll see, if you take it, okay, line up the decks, pressure, you'll get your weave, then you can finish it off. Okay, so that's gonna be the trickiest part, is to get that weave. But keep practicing, because what I found was when I got to a point when I was first learning this trick that I could not get a weave. I actually ruined a deck of cards trying to mash them together. So the point, kind of a little pointer I can give, is when you're trying to get the weave, don't push hard. It's like a ferrule. It's like when you're handling cards, be gentle. Okay, it's like the old saying, smooth is fast. It's the same thing with this. Just nice and light, and when you almost loosen up your grip a little bit, what happens is the space between the cards becomes more apparent, and you can use that kind of air cushioned finish to create gaps, which allow for the cards to weave a lot easier. Okay, so just keep practicing, but again, don't do it with a deck of cards that you're in love with, because I do recall ruining a deck of cards while trying to learn how to get the weave going. So once you get to that point, let's get into how to finish it off. So again, pull down, separate the cards, get your weave. Now when you're at this point here, what I do is with my index finger, I push down and curl my hands in. That's not really a great weave, so it's not going to work that well, but let me get a better weave there. So again, you get into that position. So with your index finger pushing down, these fingers you're pushing like this. I bring my pinky around to help get a good bend, and then all you do is when you're ready to go, move this finger, and then release the pressure, and you just push them together, and it'll finish off the I guess I don't know if you want to call it the waterfall, the riffle, the bridge, whatever, one-handed bridge I guess it's called. Not a waterfall, but anyway, keep practicing. It's a great move. It takes a lot of practice, so don't get discouraged, because you can do it. And anyone who says they can't do this with small hands, they just haven't practiced enough. Because like with any move, it can be done. It just may require more practice. This is not going to be an instantaneous move that you learn right away. This will take some time to learn, and a fair amount of practice. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.